welcome to the post show for episode number 38 here at Limit Break Radio.
A Reddit radio.
Which we not talk about Reddit on the show.
There's a moratorium. Well, no, we just sort of
We
like...
let it simmer.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I really don't feel like we could have... We spent almost 2 hours beating up on it last time, and it's just like, we can't do that. We're not a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Plus, we had actual stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Verminion.
Such a nice change.
You're not wrong, is the sad part.
Yeah, but it helped with Juxta interjecting interesting calls in between.
Yes,
You're
did.
welcome.
We did. We had some good calls today. How many people wanted to call but didn't get a chance?
8. And 1 or 2 new people, and then Saskio, Furry Tractor.
Furry was good last time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that wanted to come back on, but
We went 3 hours pretty easily.
We blinked and it was 3. We couldn't.
Yeah.
We almost didn't get through the patch notes.
Yeah.
And we had that interview on the back burner, and we had the other topic on the back burner, plus all of these fucking emails. Like we just, and we've said this before because we've encountered this more than once, where we get something to actually talk about, we start digging into it, and then we don't have time for emails. That's
Right.
just gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, we read all of our emails. Don't get us wrong, guys. We read every single thing that you send us. But the fact of the matter is that we don't have the time to be able to devote to it every single time on the show. So
Yeah, but don't worry. I'm sure that once we start to move through this patch, there's gonna be plenty of times when we won't have topics, and now we have fucking emails
Can I
on the
just-
fucking wazoo.
can I just say how amazing it is to have such levels of listener interaction? Like,
Oh yeah.
That was another thing I was gonna say. We got a lot from the chat this time.
man, the chat was just
there.
fucking flying, man.
We
I
were
could not keep
topping
up.
out at like 390.
Yeah.
We didn't quite. I don't think we quite hit 400.
With no host.
With
yeah, I was gonna
no
say,
host.
I don't think anyone hosts
Failing
us.
podcast.
Yeah, fit.
Not gonna make it.
Yeah, no, and I think that a lot of that has to do not just with the drama surrounding Reddit, because people stayed with the show. I don't think we ever, once we got above 390, we never dipped below 370.
Nope. Right.
Which means that people came and then they stayed.
Yeah.
So that and that's, I think that's a pretty big indication on what we're doing
What
is
we're delivering.
yeah, exactly.
That, and people are excited for the patch, so
too.
they're tuning back in.
That
so.
too. Yeah, I think
You're
that
right,
there's
you're
a lot
right.
of people who
There's a lot of factors.
probably tuned out in the intervening time, and
That is probably a demographic that we didn't really think about as much as the people who they listen to Limit Break Radio when they're playing 14.
Right.
That's
It's
true.
possible.
That's true. Although I do think our listeners, even if they become disconnected from the game, they stay
Some
connected
do.
to
A lot.
us.
Some of them
Yeah.
certainly do.
Yeah, a larger amount than maybe other shows who have a similar.
If all that Reddit stuff though did boost our viewer count by fucking half, that's massive.
Mhm.
That is massive.
Well,
So-
we hit Reddit and we hit Blue Garden. Those are like the 2 big places. So.
And official forums. I mean,
Apparently we showed up on official forums too.
Arthur's is called.
Oh yeah.
Got posted over to the official forums. I don't know that any of the Reddit stuff made
Yeah, that's
made
what I
over
was-
to OF,
yeah.
but Arthur's is called definitely did. So I just
That's probably some of the biggest publicity we've ever gotten.
absolutely. So let's I mean, this is
We became a community hot topic.
our Patreon videos are actually a good opportunity for us to talk a bit behind the scenes
Yeah.
about how we feel
Be a little- have
the
a meta
discussion went.
discussion.
Yeah, exactly. So first of all, I want to ask you guys how do you feel the Reddit discussion? Were you guys comfortable with it when it started to make the round?
Oh yeah, no, everything in it to me was 100% fine, and I think that comes from the fact, as a little bit of a counterpoint. Take for example all the initial Twitter drama,
Yeah.
right? Some of the very first Twitter drama that started happening, where you were really throwing fuel on the fire. I know that some of that made Nika really uncomfortable, and Ascalia, and to an extent, I could empathize with why they felt like that. But that was also our first real big, I think, foray into that sort of realm.
And just sort of the let's call it controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
where-
and into the public eye.
Or not confrontational.
Yeah, confrontational, being confrontational in the public eye with public opinion and stuff. And I guess for me, one of the ways that I came to terms with that really quick was, he's not speaking for Limit Break Radio, even though people probably took it that way. This is just a Nero. This is Nate speaking, and I don't have to hold those same beliefs. Even though people might. Whoever, what the fuck cares? But with all the stuff that's been happening since then, especially with the Reddit and the Blue Garter and all that kind of stuff, like even when I was reading through, because there was a section of the Blue Garter where everyone just started like tearing into our show, right? And I'm looking at all this criticism, and it's not true. Like all this stuff.
There's a few in there.
What I mean by that is all of the things that they're picking apart. If they were to watch more of it, they would realize that their statement is false. Like when they're like, "Oh, these guys aren't hardcore raiders," duh,
Yeah,
or these guys are fucking dicks. Why would you watch? Duh. Like, yeah, you're hitting the nail right on the head. All this stuff that you're saying is absolutely true.
Yes.
And if you watched more than just 5 minutes, you would see that that's
What we're
part
going,
of it.
That's
The
what
bit.
we're going for.
It's like if someone, watched MST3K for 5 minutes, like, God, this show fucking sucks. And then,
Because I can't hear the movie. I can't hear the movie dialogue because I got these assholes talking over it.
or this movie is such shitty quality. Leaves. Yeah, it is.
It's supposed to be.
So, like, none of it, like, got to me or anything. It's like these... Basically, what that reinformed for me is that what we're doing it well. If they look at this like, oh, these fucking dicks.
What do you think about the exposure? I mean, because like,
The exposure's fucking amazing.
Well, there was a few people who who leveled the criticism at us that we were basically doing dramatizing. Taking drama and using it as a platform to promote our product.
Yeah, we absolutely were.
That's exactly what we were
It
doing.
worked out perfectly.
That's exactly what we were doing. And
in fact, this probably worked out better than what you thought it was going to, right?
well, what are the other options right now? For a product like ours, for a show like ours,
We've pushed as much as we can on our social medias.
and self-promotion and completely disambiguated from Reddit as a social practice. Self-promotion is sort of a thing that people our age and younger identify as something that's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
They just roll their eyes at it. I roll my eyes at it.
It's like, no, I'm not. No, if you're talking about yourself, no, that's not.
I mean, like, let's be honest here, because like, there are plenty of studies that exist out there that millennials have advertising has a problem being able to actively target millennials because they can sniff out when they're being pandered to, they can sniff out when they're being advertised to. And that makes promotion in general much more difficult when you're courting a younger audience, and all of our audiences skew younger. We're not going to be getting that many Gen Xers and fucking baby boomers. Definitely not going to be getting baby boomers. So, you have to be able to market your product in a specific certain way. And the way that we choose to do it is we do it with throwing it into every single ounce of the product. It permeates every atom of what you hear on the air. Does that necessarily reflect our own attitudes all the time? Do you guys think that I actually walk around being really, truly, viscerally upset about FF14 all the time?
Yes.
And I'm like raving at my coworkers because I just can't contain it? No. It's stuff that's played up for comedic effect, for dramatic effect, for entertainment's sake, that and some people get it, and it's like 50% of the people that get it go, oh, that's fucking brilliant. And then the other half go, well, that's really, that's sort of manipulative. Well, yeah, it's kind of manipulative. Yeah, it's manipulative, but there's really not, what's the fucking alternative here?
A great example of this, and I know the majority of people are going to roll their eyes when I begin this little anecdote, but you're going to get it. But the Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah.
You think they actually walk around all the time acting like there's a fucking dark carnival?
No. It's a bit.
It's just like TV
This
or
is
movie.
This is the
like,
same shit. This is the same shit that my dad had. It sat me down when I was 12 years old and starting to listen to Marilyn Manson, and he explained the same thing. He put on an Alice Cooper record, and he went, this guy does the same thing that Marilyn Manson does. It's an act. It's all for show. It's all for play. and then the day that I got to meet Alice Cooper without all of the fucking makeup, it was suddenly like, oh my god, you know,
My
like
dad was right.
yeah, like, you know, like, and when that happens to you at 16 years old, I mean, I'm really lucky that I was exposed to the world of entertainment and the truth of it very, very young, and so, you know, I've had the awesome opportunity to meet people like Alice Cooper, like Maynard from Tool, like
Macklemore.
I have met Macklemore. I've had the opportunity to meet Whitey Ford from Everlast. I mean, like, when you meet these people and you understand that the persona that they're putting forth on stage and in their social media and through their image is an act, and when you interact with them on a very personal level and they're very nice, fucking Iggy Pop has the biggest reputation for this, for being a fucking psychotic wild man on stage, and he gets off stage and he's a Michigan farm boy. It's 100%, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is, and to be able to separate, like I can compartmentalize those parts.
People can't do
Oh,
that. People
no.
can't do that, especially
Nope.
when it comes to music. Like people
Oh, yeah.
think like what people put into music. Eminem's a great example.
Yeah.
Like that's just how he is. Like they're always criticizing him for his lyrics and stuff, but it's theater.
Yeah.
It's dramatization.
Yeah.
Great movie that
And,
reflects
and
it.
it's not like it comes from a place of fiction either. It's not like
True.
and it's
True.
not like
It's
what,
all based in a little bit of truth.
yeah. What I say on the show, it's not like I'm completely fictionalizing that or trying to bring up other people's points that I've read and don't really understand. These are my own feelings about it.
Yep.
But the emotion that's there, the way that we're speaking about it, even the way that we're speaking about it right now, is played up so that it's interesting for you to
want to see
watch
some
and
great
listen
examples?
to.
Prior to 2000, go look up Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Remember that video you showed us?
Yes.
Or Duck Dynasty? Those
Yeah.
guys are actually like Wall Street, like white collar dudes.
Yes. I don't
It's
know
a-
about Duck
yeah.
Dynasty. I don't know about that, but
I'm
for sure,
pretty sure.
for
yeah.
sure, Larry the Cable Guy had an entirely different. I don't remember what his actual name. He had a totally different.
You've seen The Prestige?
Yeah.
That whole movie's about that
Exactly,
fact. The
yes.
best entertainers live their persona even in the eye of the public.
Yes. And that's the thing.
That's what really sells it and drives it home.
And over the this past week, dealing with the fallout from Reddit and continuing with the discussion and the dialogue that's been started because of it, unfortunately, someone that I really respect inside the FF14 community felt the need to block me on
Yeah,
Twitter
that sucked.
because of it. And it really, like, it kind of made me, for a minute, sort of go, like, man, if people that I know and respect, or thought I knew, and I guess I don't really know him, and I can't really put that expectation for him to really understand the difference between, trying to do something as an act and doing it with 100% straight-face seriousness. I can't lay all of that at his feet, but it did give me a gut check to go, is this what I really want to be doing? Is this really the persona and the attitude that I really want to put out in this community? And after really thinking about it long and hard, absolutely. And this is what I envisioned in the first place. This is what I've always strove for and sought for this show to be.
So Escalia doesn't have to unblock you then.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you said respected. It's not Escalia.
So what I think people look at the way we do the show and they think like if we ran into ANA in a bar, they feel like it would end in a bar brawl or something like that. When the reality is we'd probably all just have a drink and talk about Final Fantasy 14.
Well, because here's the thing too, especially when it comes to today's generation, when anybody can put out a podcast, anybody can put their face on Twitch stream.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's just them. Like 99% of it is just people being people,
Yes.
but they're also not super successful.
And the thing is, though, is that, like, because there is this,
Oversaturation.
and oversharing, too, people aren't really honest with the way that they feel when they share on social media. There was a time where that was true, but now because someone shares a joke on social media and another person doesn't like it, contacts their employer about it, they get fired.
That bullshit.
And,
Yeah.
I think that just in general, people are not really forthcoming about the way that they feel about things. And it, you know, if we're a counterbalancing force to that, if we're on the other side of that, say, no, say what you feel, say how you really feel and mean it, and like, let's start the conversation there, I think that's way more productive. And that is sincerely what I want to put out into the community. It's not negativity. It's the desire for a more honest discussion.
And to the people who say, well, you can do that without, you know, being mean or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, you probably could.
You could.
But you know what? It's emotion, it's feelings, and we're all fucking adults, so stop trying to reinforce that everybody needs a participation medal
Well,
mentality.
let's be honest about this. There were already 7 or 8 shows that had that attitude
That's
when
also
Limit Break
true.
Radio was talking about
That's
coming back.
also true.
And so, you know, it's not just to be contrarian for the sake of contrarian's sake,
We
or to
actually
have
said-
attitude for the sake of attitude's
We
sake.
actually sat down and looked and said, look, what we used to do with Limit Break Radio, that already exists.
Yes.
It's been
in
filled.
Being done to
It's
death.
overflowing.
Yes,
We need to do something different.
yes. And so we went a different direction with it. And
Otherwise, we might not have ever gotten to the point we're at now had we tried to be what we were.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think we would have blended in much more with the crowd.
Mhm.
In this sense, we set ourselves apart and look at the reaction because of it. You know, when we have stuff that's being posted all over the place,
All
and we
over
have
the place.
more. There's more discussion happening about it than we can keep up with. That's a great feeling. In terms of people want to deride the conversation for being immature, or for the participants in it being immature. That's fine. That's allowed. You're allowed to do that. But the fact that the conversation exists and is happening, can you please just
We're leading the community in here.
But the fact that the discussion is happening in any form or fashion, I think is the important part. No matter if you think
Yeah.
that the tone of the conversation is up to your standards or not.
Yeah, I know that you you don't like the whole community leader thing, blah 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 and stuff like that. But something that sort of just dawned on me, especially with this whole Reddit thing, Reddit, Blue Garter, the official forums. I think you said we've popped up on Facebook here and there,
Yes.
YouTube. This is easily the most exposure we've ever had.
Yeah.
And, before in playing older games, specifically WoW, I wasn't involved in the WoW community, but obviously, I frequented all kinds of WoWhead and forums and stuff like that. I knew who the big people were that stood out,
Sure.
and it's kind of cool now to realize that
We're a big person.
we're those. That's who we are.
You've always spoken to not wanting to be a community leader, and I just listen to what you said there. I don't feel like you don't want to be a community leader. You don't want the connotation and the theoretical responsibilities that come with it.
It's
Because what you say, you want to drive the conversation for a more honest and better community. That is being a community leader.
Sure,
What
okay.
you don't want
It's
is
the leader part.
What you doesn't want is the required. Okay, if you're going to be a community leader, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want about it.
Well, because Anero's also been a big supporter of anarchy. You don't want to have to lead and be that person that's in charge.
not like I'm drawing A's on
Right,
everything
right.
anarchist does.
Theoretically, what you're doing, you want everyone to be able to do.
Yeah, I mean that's really that does strike at the heart of it. Is that I do feel like I am setting an example that I want other people to follow. In that I want them to be critical, I want them to question, I want them to not accept status quo, and I want them to feel the need to get passionate when that's what they feel, right?
Like Nikki Seven did.
Absolutely. And so, to me, that's just as valuable and important as having quote-unquote responsible conversations.
Or to counter that, people don't think we want everyone to be Nikki Seven, or like what Arthas does Arthurs does when he calls in. He's obviously the very opposite of what Nikki Seven is, I think. But you can still tell he's fucking passionate about it.
Absolutely. And he's willing to say what he feels. I have an intense respect for that. And honestly, if someone called in that felt the opposite way, like that one guy did about Lords of Verminion, I mean, I didn't tear that guy a new one.
Yep.
Did I go after that guy at all?
No.
Was I a dick to that guy at all? Honestly, I'm trying to remember.
No,
I really
you
don't think I
weren't.
was.
No.
Because he brought up some really good. He
You
brought
had
up
a
some
great
very good.
conversation with him.
Yeah, well, well, he brought up some very legitimate points where he's into a piece of content that I'm not into. That's totally
You know
valid.
who I think we have to thank for all this drama? We have Anae to thank.
I do think
Because
you're right.
their very first comment they said was, somebody get these guys contact for me, right?
Yeah.
And then immediately after he's like, no, you know what, fuck, I don't want to go on their shitty show.
Yeah.
Had he not said that second thing
Oh, yeah.
and got in contact with us, right? Nothing would have happened. He'd have talked to Nero, they would have had a legitimate conversation, he probably would have came on the show like he's going to.
Yeah.
We would have had the discussion we're going to have on the show, and then that would have been it. It would have fell into obscurity. It wouldn't have got what it did on BG, like, wow. Talk about, like looking at cause and effect.
Streisand effect, man.
Yeah, we
Is
definitely
Reddit
have
just
a
as
name.
brilliant as we are? Are they saying like,
Well,
oh, we
they
have
are-
a chance for drama here too? Let's do
I
this.
think
Well-
they were accidentally brilliant.
You know what? If that's what they were doing, good on them.
Yeah.
That's smart. I give them all the credit in the world. They capitalized on it. But you know, like, it's a thing. I just don't feel bad. What?
No,
The
I
song.
We're trying to figure out what the song playing is. The vocals are
Some
ridiculous.
screeching guy.
But no, I don't feel bad about any of it. Like, and even Nika took all that in stride. Like, she typed up that big, thing.
Oh, she did.
Oh, no.
And for someone to just like completely misquote and be like, "Fuck off, whore!" Like honestly,
Oh my
I was
God.
actually okay. No, I lied. I was hurt. This is where
That one got me a little. I felt. I was like, man, I feel like I should, but I don't want to do. I
You don't
can't.
want a white knighter? Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
not only that, but she's an adult and she can
Yeah,
fucking defend
yeah.
herself.
Yeah.
What hurt me was when I finally decided to start posting. Nobody came after me. The thread kind of died down. And I was
It's
actually
boring.
I was actually surprised. No, you wanna know what it was? Is because I just did with David. I didn't give them any fodder to shoot at me with. That's why.
Yeah, yeah.
But it did help though that apparently one of that Raggins thing, like, quoted you to, where he's like, yeah, 50 reactions. I'm just gonna cover everything. And one of the bullet lines was, "Why is Kahlo so mean?"
Oh god.
that reinvigorated it. And I actually went through, like, I read every single page.
Yeah.
But I only read it if it contained one of two keywords: LBR or Kahlo.
The least surprising thing we've heard all day.
Well, I think I think the reason that at least for me, the reason that I chose to interact at BG is because I think that that's
That's a fighter.
well, no, because I think that it's the place where the discussion would be the most honest. The way that they moderate their community and organize their community, I think that if there was someone that was going to press back against us, it would happen there. And in a
Never see it
fair
on the
way.
official forum.
Oh no! Oh god,
Never
no!
would make
And I mean Reddit, everything was being quieted so quickly at Reddit that was just completely unreliable. And I don't want to have to try to form a discussion space.
Yeah. So thank you, BG, and
Yeah.
thank you, Raggins.
Really, that was and to the dudes even trolling us in the BG thread, that was fantastic. I had a great time. So yeah,
The best troll though, definitely Worm. That guy.
but he wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that was so straight faced serious. The other thing that
Hold on. Are we gonna ignore the skinny privilege comment on Nika, the one
I
chick?
remember, I do remember
Oh, it
that.
was so great.
That was good, but I forgot until you
Where
until
did
you
it fucking
mentioned
come from?
it. So
that was a troll.
it was, yeah, that was clearly a
Very
troll.
troll.
Gotta be.
That was very trolly. That was very, and good on him. That was a good troll. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is that so now for 2 weeks in a row, we have had we've gone and posted highlights from the episode a day before the episode hits
Yeah.
on YouTube and on
That's
and on the website. And so and it's been largely those highlights
Has been controversial.
that have gotten everyone to talk.
Or not controversial, because I don't think that Arthur's.
But they've been hot topics.
Right. As I say, I don't think his
those
was
are things that
controversial.
get linked other places,
Yes.
and those
Right.
are things that get referenced.
So I bet your question is what in this episode has done that.
Yeah. Or
What's-
I mean,
what's
I think
the
that,
highlight?
What's
yeah,
the
I
highlight?
think that's a good discussion to have in this post show of like what just happened that we should put out as a highlight, because it's clear to me that it's a good programming strategy
Right. Oh,
to have
absolutely,
those go up
absolutely.
immediately.
Yeah.
And to have content that exists on our YouTube page that people can digest in 15-minute chunks.
Mm-hmm.
you're right. Kalo, you had brought up earlier. I think you're right that it disambiguates a lot of the context that.
That's all right because it brings people in.
It brings people in.
Absolutely.
Yes. Here's the thing. I've never been afraid to piss people off.
No, but here's the other thing too. I don't think there's no negative to it because you're right. If somebody watches that, they're going to judge our entire show based on it. But if we didn't put that up there, then they're just going to judge our show on somebody's fucking tweet. Anyway.
Okay.
So these
Point
people
taken.
aren't coming to our show regardless.
Point taken.
At least this way, maybe they'll want to watch more. You know, these guys are pissing me off so much. I have to watch this whole
I'll
fucking
take
thing.
8 listens.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, I think that that's gonna get people to listen more than some social justice warriors fucking tweet that they heard from their mother's second best friend on the cousin's side.
Yeah, that mischaracterizes us
Yes.
as murderers and rapists.
Yep.
I mean, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Jesus.
If I were to pick something though, the Joe Never one I
Yeah.
think would work for a few reasons. Obviously, it highlights a key problem that a lot of people had with the way that this patch structure has been, and with the way that the problem that PvP is suffering from right now. And if we can fit the PvP topic in this coming show, it also then serves as a little bit of a preview of what's coming.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So that's one.
Do you really think they were going to have time for the PvP?
Probably
episode
not.
next
No,
episode?
probably not. Especially because I'm not. I'd like to be here, obviously, for it. And right now, it's looking like either a super late show or me joining by Skype.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll figure that out. But no. So is there something better? Obviously,
That was definitely where we got the most passionate. Like that's
Yeah.
where everyone suddenly wanted to speak on that topic.
yeah. I mean, Arthur's is good, right? But I also feel like that was a lot of us listening to him that
yes.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Arthur's.
and it's another repeat. It would be a repeat.
I
Yeah.
do. While I enjoyed Arthur's call, it was a follow up on his first call.
Yeah.
I think the guy calling us on Lords of Verminion might be a.
The Lords of Verminion conversation might be a good one.
It was good, but then that's what we want our headline to be: Lords of Verminion.
I
Well,
liked,
it's what Square Enix's headline is.
True.
I liked the Ryuichi call, but that has no substance. But it's really funny because we beat up on Ryuichi.
Is it just calls that we want?
No,
Like,
no,
what other
anything.
what other kind of like discussion did we have though?
It was a lot of. I mean, we.
A lot of
There
patch
was
notes
a lot of reading the
episodes,
patch notes,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, they might not always. Obviously, we set the bar pretty high with the Nikki 7
Well,
one.
those
and
two
the
things
Arthur's.
literally led us to create doing highlights. They were
Right.
so good, we had to do it.
So I guess going
Ragan's
forward,
email, maybe. Ragan's email was really good.
Ragan's email could
Wasn't
be
it
good.
kind of short though? I mean, we kind of rushed it.
Well, it
Did
wasn't
we?
just the email. The email led into the interview, but that also allows us to link to Blue Guard. They did the email, right?
Well.
Blue Garter did the email, but the translation was linked from somewhere else.
No. The translation was it was done by Slicer at Blue Guard.
Okay,
was it?
so
Yes,
so
it was.
so the
that's why.
the
we sort of-
interview happened somewhere else, but Blue Garter translated it. Okay, because when I saw you reading it
Yes.
off the thing,
Okay.
Okay.
It happened at Game Watch,
Yes.
Gotcha.
and it was translated by Slicer at BG.
Okay.
So but it does. They do kind of exist together. I mean,
You know what? Actually,
in a
you know what?
small spans of time.
I think the Ragans one might be good because it opens with our usual level of salt, right? His email was pretty salty,
Yeah,
right?
you're
So I
right.
think what it's gonna do is it's gonna obviously anyone who already listens is gonna watch it, yeah. But anyone who's just latched on so far because of the hate train, you know, oh LDR sucks, oh here we go again, right? It starts up, yep, the usual fucking level of salt, blah 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 blah. But then it turns into you not shouting, not yelling, you know, toning it down and being like, all right, that's legitimate. You know, we bring them in with what they expect, and then we slap them with what they thought that we didn't have.
Okay, all right, that's fair. So the Joe Never Call and Ragan's email.
Mhm.
Those are the two highlights for today.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I think that that also, you know, gives us again the chance to link to the article on BG.
Yes.
And you know, it's always, I mean, not that BG probably needs our traffic, but
Dude, anything. You know what? They have been really awesome and put our banner up in all sorts of places.
really,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
our banners on BG.
Our banners on the front page of BG. Not only that, they had our a direct link to our Patreon on the top of every single FF14 forum.
No shit.
Yeah, that was for,
Oh,
that was for a while.
Dragons.
That was for a while.
Am I correct in thinking at one time we didn't get along with BG? Am I right in thinking that?
We didn't really get along with the forums.
It was the
Yeah.
forum. Yeah, it was
Okay.
never.
The
It was
community.
never the administrative. I think we, because Sonoma had come on the show.
Right.
Sonoma had come on the LM17 episode when the salvage Duke bannings happened, and we had a great time with him.
Yeah.
He was such a great guest, and I had seen him a couple of times at FanFest and everything. And this last time at FanFest, at the FF14 FanFest, we actually started talking a little bit because Blue Garter had some struggles with traffic because the posters on their site, they didn't want to they didn't want to over moderate and have like there was a thread in there where people would post like topless chicks and stuff like that, and so they got put into Google AdWords's or AdSense's category of
Mature.
of
content.
a mature content or a porn website or
Explicit,
something,
yeah.
explicit, whatever it is. And so they were struggling with being able to figure out like another plan outside of Google, because Google's really they dominate in
Yeah.
in putting banner ads up. And so we had talked a little bit about working ways of trying to bounce traffic back and forth and stuff like that. And like I said, Sonoma's always been really cool. And then I don't know that I've ever met Raggins face to face. Maybe I
he's
have.
French, so would he? I assume if he speaks unintelligible French accent, he must live over in Europe, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. But Raggins has sent us a couple of emails. I've talked to him on Skype a couple of times. Really
He seems
nice
like a
dude.
cool dude. I like him.
I like Raggins a lot. So, but yeah, there was a time where when we would post on BG, it was not.
Yeah.
It was not.
Well, because and can you blame them? We were a super fucking casual show, and they were a hardcore elite.
And
Forum.
show,
Yeah.
and we were
Yeah.
fronting. We at that
Absolutely.
point in.
So can you really blame them for tearing us apart?
no.
No.
I mean, when we say things like, "Oh, all Assault is beating up rock walls,"
Yeah.
like, come on, that's probably one of the most ignorant comments we've ever made.
Got a point there. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing is I think at the time when we would receive that criticism, it was like, ooh, it hurt because it
Yeah,
was
we
true.
didn't get it. We didn't get it.
It hurt because it was true, and now I think now we get it. Like now we definitely get it, and
We roll
I
with the punches.
I like the most critical posts from BG towards us. I really do. Sincerely.
That one email that we were gonna read but didn't get to,
Yeah.
the guy, I didn't realize that he emailed you back 48 minutes later. Like,
Yep.
like I kind of want to do a video dramatization of that, of like, him typing out this email, being like, there, fucking done. Walking out the door, coming back and no, you know what? I got more to fucking say to this guy. Like,
Is he the one who calls us sugar tits and
Yeah.
cock
Yeah.
sock and all that stuff?
yes.
Actually, I gotta correct you because that's not true. He forwarded the first email which he had sent to the Gmail account the week before. So the first one that goes after Macho Mog or whatever
Uh-huh.
it is, the first one that he sent,
Oh, so he had sent one to
he had
Gmail,
sent that a week earlier.
and then he forwarded it to us, and 48 minutes later replied.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And 48 minutes later replied with his review of our show.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Interesting.
so
Yeah.
well, I'm sure we'll get to that.
Oh yeah, we will.
I'm sure we will get to that. I don't know when, but
Yeah,
I'm sure
because
we
now
will.
now we have like I don't know 22 pages of emails, all old, and
At some
in 2 days,
point-
in
Now
2
we
days
actually have a
they
game to play.
patch.
No, some of those emails that are like 5-week holdovers, we gotta cut them.
Yeah, especially if it's like I'll go through and take a look at them, because if they're not irrelevant, like something's been changed or whatever,
I'm sure that most of them are.
then yeah. Like I know
It sucks. I mean, I feel bad about it, but
Yeah.
um,
But I also think that people probably understand. Like, for example, I know we have a few on the whole concept of like the MMO dying thing, the whole Matt Pat thing. Yeah, that's way outdated at this point.
I don't know. That's sort of evergreen. That's always good.
So,
I think we could always revisit that
like I said, I'll try and take a look at them.
because the claim that MMOs are dying isn't going anywhere.
That's true.
So I think we could talk about that.
All right. Well, like I said, I'll take a look at them, and if there's any that can be cut because they're irrelevant.
If there's any more of them that say white maids shouldn't have to DPS, go ahead and cut them.
Well, see what
I
I
think
like
we're past
about
that conversation.
what I like.
Yes,
No.
I think you're right.
What I like about that though is like these people somehow actually managed to have a dialogue with each other
Between them
through our emails.
That is legitimately
Yes,
really
that's actually really cool because you have like one guy's like, you know what, you got this email and I want to lay it on this guy. Then the next one is like agreeing with that first email. Then you have another one who's like, no, that fucking guy, let me tell you. And it's just, it's hilarious.
Can we just give you each other's numbers so you can fucking private?
Yeah.
Is
Go to
that
the back,
possible?
rub dickheads together.
Yeah. Juxta, you had some new drops today, but actually, this also, I wanted to spend a second talking about this because you guys had to come early. We have to say rest in peace to our main radio computer. We knew it was on the way out.
Was that so that's like the OG LBR computer?
That is the OG LBR computer. That was the very first, the computer that the very first episode of Limit Break Radio was ever edited on.
Rest in
That
peace,
was
OG.
that was the
Pour one
computer.
out.
Hold. That was the computer that I used to drag down to the front
Yep.
desk of Merrill and play not just FF11 but WoW on for the very short time that you guys had convinced me to try WoW. So that computer has finally bit the dust. We knew it was
Rest
on the
in
way
peace,
out.
OG.
We've replaced it with the
The
computer,
computer.
which all of the components were generously donated to us by Kooky Persona. And today was your first day, so
How'd you feel pressing Kook's button?
So yeah, okay, so on Monday we lost the computer. It died. So it was contingent on me to take the data in there and duplicate it over to the new computer and get it all in place and make sure that there was no weird line noise when we would have callers, because sometimes that can happen when you have
jacks and stuff.
like a new sound card or something. I had to make sure that we were audible to whoever was on Skype with us and that we could hear them and that it wasn't feeding back. All of those things can get very, very complicated. We've had to deal with that when switching between Limit Break Radio and Final Encountercast. So, Juxta, you had to reset all of your drops, which meant that maybe some of your drop game was off. You had new drops, you had about 30 new drops that you played with, and a whole new computer. How was your time today? You were a little quiet.
I was distracted for most of the time.
I walk into the room and he's like, watch this, and he scrolls the wheel and the page scrolls down and I'm like, yeah, that's what it does. And he's like, no, but it doesn't normally do that.
Usually it's scroll and they go. Yeah,
Iron Forge lag.
yeah. I'd end up in the IF pit. But no, we came like 2 hours early, and I spent that.
Sat in the hall for 10 minutes.
Yeah, sat in the hall.
Because somebody
thanks to
wasn't
this
home.
guy.
Sorry, I had to buy drugs. What do you want from me?
Legally. And I just spent that whole time like going through all like 700 of Anero's drops and finding the actual good ones and putting it in there. And
How many drops do we have total? 750?
56 or something.
Something like that, yeah. It's a lot.
I cut that down to like, I want to say like 300-ish, 350. And I didn't have like my normal like.
It wasn't in your normal
No,
order.
it was not organized.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was putting them in there, for whatever reason, like you just drag the file and put it into the folder. And for whatever reason, like I have no idea how it organizes this shit, but it was just completely fucked up.
All the way, yeah.
So I just sorted by alphabetically and went from there. And I think.
I think you did okay.
No, I
there were definitely some good ones, and I think you made use of one or two new ones. So
yeah,
that's good.
I think like I had a bunch of new old ones as well, which I got.
Yeah.
And I actually think like my drop game was kind of more on point, although there was less of it, and like wasn't as good. But like I feel like I had to like.
Getting to go through and listen to all the old ones again, you probably had a couple in your mind. You're like, oh yeah,
Well,
okay.
plus what this also does too is any drops that you may have like used as a crutch or fell
Yeah.
into easily.
Yeah, that's
since
what I
they're
mean.
not there, it's gonna make it, at least for the listeners, it's gonna feel a little bit more fresh.
Right, and I didn't use a lot of the old ones, like, hey, fuck you, douchebag.
Yeah, right.
Stuff like that. So, I think in terms of like how many like new drops, I think I did a lot better on that. number of like really hard hitting ones probably a little bit lower than the normal, but that's just because I was trying to find it. And the one drop where he called me Chris and I was looking for that drop, I didn't need any influence.
Doesn't
from
matter.
him. No,
Doesn't matter.
No, I was
Doesn't
like,
matter.
as soon as you said Chris, my eyes lit up because I was waiting. I was like, oh, here we go. And I actually helped because it's like I knew where it was because it's alphabetical.
Yeah.
It's no, so N, find N, boom, right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good, man. That's good. So it's gonna take probably another couple of weeks to suss out fully.
yeah, I'm not sure how I want to proceed from here. If I want to organize it based on like content, like mean ones, retorts, questions, something like that.
You can break it down by folders too. Yeah.
Or if I just want to like keep it alphabetical, so if I know like what it's called, I can just search for it alphabetically. So
I'm sure he'll make a spreadsheet for it at some point.
I really wish that program had the ability to assign specific colors because
Yes.
I really do think that if you had a specific
colors
color,
would make things a lot like it would be really good. I could sort all my dick ones as pink and just go from there.
you know, and there is programs that can do that. It's just they're not cheap.
They're not. I don't know if I could justify like the $150 price tag. on it.
Wow.
$150. Yeah, that's the really sad part. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy part: is that it starts at 40. Like to get a soundboard drop program, it starts at 40, but you get one page of 75
Yeah.
drops
That's
for 40, and then for I don't know, another $30, you get 5 pages, and then for the full 150, you get like
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So. That's the really sad part is that like I think your drop game could even be better if it was helped by software, but
you're right, that much money.
it's really hard to justify. It really is, and I wish that a cheaper alternative existed out there.
Right.
And there are cheaper alternatives. They just don't exist for Windows. Weirdly enough, there are apps. No. There are apps. There are fucking iPad apps. There are Android apps that are just as usable and cheaper as this shit. It's just it doesn't exist for Windows.
We can find a program that will let us download apps onto the computer.
What, like an app emulator?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I wouldn't
don't know.
trust it. I wouldn't
Well, I'm
trust
Does
it.
just
the
saying.
computer take that?
Oh, the computer.
Computer's good.
Computer's solid.
Like,
Speed-wise, was it all good?
Yeah, it was real good. Like
Yeah.
I opened a web page. I opened Twitch and I did that, and I pressed a new tab button and I went over to do stuff on the other one. And I'm like, oh, I can keep going.
Did you feel less overwhelmed by calls because of it?
Yes.
So
The speed was.
the limitations of the computer were tough. The old computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I imagine it's probably like what my computer was doing near the end of its life.
yeah, when I was before on the old one with Skype, I'd hit the call person and everything would just lock up for a couple seconds, and it was always kind of dicey. I'm like, come on, and then he pops up.
Okay. All right.
So now it's just click and he's
Well,
on.
and we took 3 phone calls today, which is
Yes.
a little bit different.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, was that because the computer handled the
No,
incoming
no.
calls better,
That-
or
that
did
was,
we
that
just
was
get?
me.
Oh,
That was
okay.
me.
All right.
So, but yeah, I got the first phone call, and there wasn't really a good time to shove one of the Skype people in. So I'm like, fuck it, turn this guy on.
Fucking Joe Never, getting all incognito.
This is Albert.
I wanted to ask him, why Albert?
Prince
Prince
Albert. And
Yeah, I
I
think you had nailed it right off the bat. That was
I-
that was funny though.
did.
Oh, that was you.
him, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks, Kooky.
Well, I can't tell your voices apart.
Yeah.
So.
Waka waka.
Yeah. But no, and then I got the second one, so I'm like, okay, sure. So I took that person, and then another person started calling in, which was Joe. During that call, so I'm like, oh great, now I
You
open
need to
the
save
floodgates.
Joe's number.
I did actually.
good.
So I'm like, I need to.
Can't do that again, asshole.
Yeah, I was looking over at his computer when the call was coming up, and I just saw another third number pop up. I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
at one point I had, and I actually stopped taking the phone number calls because we had Joe up there, and then we had 2 other people.
One of them
try-
was Robert, I'm sure.
I don't know.
He said he kept getting a busy signal.
Okay, well, there was 2 people trying to call in, so I kept on hanging up on them on Skype, and they kept calling back. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Threw him in the corner. The other person called, so I threw him in the corner, and now I have 3 things of Skype going up there. I'm like, you guys are persistent because they can like the box didn't go away for like a good like 5-10 minutes. I'm like,
Oh, I need to fix that. That's a Skype setting that I need to fix. Sorry, that was my bad. I'm sorry, that's my bad. Yeah.
So, but I mean, like,
I need to set because you have to set. You can set how long it rings before it goes to voicemail.
so,
and because
definitely-
reinstalling Skype, it reset all of that shit. So sorry about
All
that.
those people that you wanted to call and leave voice messages, they have to like wait 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, god damn, this is like ring 75. God, what the fuck?
another thing on drops, I was actually like throwing out drops at callers a lot more often too, which is something that's good.
That's something he.
Right, because Skype can hear our drops now. They couldn't before, right?
No, they could before.
Oh, they could before? Okay.
Yes.
I feel like whenever I throw a drop at a caller, they never respond to it. So like, I
Ar-
wasn't exactly sure.
Arthur's definitely
Arthur's
did.
did.
He laughed
So I'm
out
like,
loud at one of
okay,
them, you know?
So
like,
did the first girl that called. What was her name?
Visenya?
Visenya.
Yeah.
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 I didn't catch the second caller's name, second phone caller's name.
No, it like I thought it
yeah.
like cut out there for a second.
I think we just.
I got his server,
Yeah, from Goblin.
Goblin.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I think that's just about it. Good job, guys. It was a good show today. We're gonna have a whole lot to talk about next week. And that's a good feeling. That's a really good feeling.
After 7 weeks of not having that feeling.
God damn. Honestly, like, yeah, 7 weeks. We didn't have anything. The game wasn't putting out anything. What
We
do
made
do?
it.
We stirred we made it entertaining. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna point out we've like gained more viewers over this 7-week period than any time where we were actually getting stuff.
We. How many episodes have you produced?
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
you guys.
He did really good with that, the roast video that's, well, not up yet. And the quiet video that's, well, that's not up yet either. But, I mean, the last green room video, you did that, right? The last green room video?
Was that you?
Video.
Oh, we haven't done a green room video in a while, so I guess you haven't done that either.
Yeah.
But you're here, and he's been doing really good with the streaming 30 hours a week.
Okay. Tuesday.
By the way, Comcast.
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 Tuesday.
Good.
I'm so
wait,
excited.
wait. You're getting Comcast installed Tuesday.
It hasn't been installed
I
yet?
thought.
I was supposed to have it 2 weeks ago.
How have you not?
I was
What
supposed to
happened?
have it last week.
Wait.
I was supposed to have it Friday. I called Thursday. I call. I'm like, okay, the guy was supposed to be here this morning between 8 and 10 or whatever time it was, and they're like, okay, cool. What's your account number? So I gave them my account number off my thing, and they're like, okay, I can't find that account number. I'm like,
Oh, I would have lost my
Yeah,
fucking.
you need to light
I
up
did
the-
lose my fucking
Oh,
mind.
okay.
Okay, good.
Hashtag and Nero Rage 'em.
I was so pissed. Like I had to.
Would
I had
did
to then go through. Like they found my old house stuff.
Yeah.
I had to then go back through and go like through the whole sales thing again to pick out my package. I had to start from scratch.
Did they comp a month for you? Because that's what they. Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right. No, then you did it right. All right. Well.
They comped a month and what I owed on my before I moved. So
Oh, good. Okay.
I was fucking pissed.
All right.
Good. Okay.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough, yeah.
That's fine.
Fair
That's
money.
acceptable. That's
Yeah.
acceptable.
Okay.
So Scally's gonna start doing actual work soon.
Okay.
Okay.
He knows what's up.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
If you hear about a guy who went on a shooting rampage, it's because my Comcast didn't show up Tuesday morning.
Great.
You know what they say. Just if you want to solve the drug problem, make all drugs legal, and then make the point of sale Comcast customer service. We'll never get drugs to anyone ever again.
Yeah.
Like I had to have them like remind me
Wasn't
3
funny the
times.
last
Like, what's
time
the
you said
upload
it,
rate on your
wasn't funny when I
internet?
saw it
Like
on
20 megs. I'm
Facebook.
like, okay,
It's
that's so much nicer.
Wow, that's a lot.
20 megs upload versus AT&T's 2.
We have like 8.
I just want to point out, like, I don't measure my Comcast speed. I have Comcast
You
here.
don't have to.
I don't measure it. I stream the Shoutcast stream at 128 kilobytes a second. I've got my Twitch stream set to 3K without any compression, and I've never ever ran into a bandwidth problem.
I don't
Maybe a slight hiccup, but never a problem.
I don't think since I've got the Technonomicron that I really had any problems. Unless our net just like flat out dies.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had any kind of
You know on
problem.
OBS you have the little thing at the bottom that shows you like how well it's streaming.
Yep.
I have not seen it be any color other than red since I moved home.
I mean, plus, like, with all the stuff that I always have open, running 3 monitors, I usually have Steam going, I usually have FF going, I have, 3 or 4 instances of Chrome in the background watching, something, I have porn ready for, like, I have a lot of shit open, and I still hit, like, 70 frames per second idling in Idleshire, so.
I've actually been, when I streamed Extra Life Hearthstone, I was having high encoding issues.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it's time to get you some new hardware. That's a problem, especially if it's happening on Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Like, that's not very...
That's not good. That was happening when I was using like a 3-core processor on my ship.
I have 6-core,
Is it a 6300 FX?
I guess.
That's what my old computer was.
Is that
So you
bad?
may have 6
not-
cores,
no,
but it's
it's-
not using 6 cores.
No, that's not it at all.
You're wrong.
It could be better.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So let's start doing that then.
Yeah.
Let's build the juxtaputer.
Well, and that's the thing, Patreon guys. We have let up on fundraising, but we're going to be redoubling our efforts there. So again, we would like to continue to thank you for your support at Patreon, but we did back off on it.
For like a month.
Almost a month.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a while.
And part of it was because it was at the request of you, not the general audience, but you, the patrons, to let up on it a little bit. And we were gearing up for Extra Life and Youmacon,
Yeah.
and so our commitment to streaming as much had kind of waned, and so. When that happens, like Patreon, I'm okay asking for Patreon because that goes to support the show. If we're not streaming regularly, it's harder for me to ask for PayPal donations.
Right.
Or subs.
Yeah, or subs, stuff like that. That's why we backed off on a lot on that, but still able to maintain our commitment to Limit Break Radio. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think
Because that's our main product.
Yeah.
exactly yes. So
If nothing else, we get that every week, and you get that every week.
yes. So in fact, this episode, literally the only mention of Patreon came at the beginning and the end. We never mentioned it anywhere throughout the course of the show.
Yeah.
So, but that ends now. We're going to be looking at some fundraising efforts, and so look forward to that. And if you have any extra to give in your budget, please consider it. But we already do thank you for your support, and obviously make the show what it is. So thank you. I think that's going to do it for the Green Room Show. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, or whatever.